studio of Hauppauge High School. It's the Early Bird with Jeff and today's special guest, Mr. Foster.
And good morning, Hauppauge. It's October. Welcome to the Early Bird. Reminder to all students that the high school will be having distant learning days on Tuesday, October 6th, Wednesday, October 14th, and Thursday, October 29th. All staff, please remember to complete your health screening survey each day when you arrive to the school building. Just lock into Parent Square to do so. And, ladies and gentlemen, we have a very special guest in the studio with us today. It is the one and only bedazzling guidance counselor himself, Mr. Greg Foster.
Pleasure to be here, sir. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So, you know, Mr. Foster, I know for a number of years you've run the program Ignition in the high school. So could you talk to us a little bit about what exactly is Ignition?
So Ignition is a peer mentoring program. So what we do is we pair up, we have about 100 10th to 12th graders in the program. We pair them up with small groups of freshmen. We try to keep the groups about 10 or 12 students just to help ease the transition to a new building. You know, we started the program about 14 years ago. So I noticed, you know, my first year, I hired the same year as Mr. Salvaggio. So I noticed his first day, week, he was very nervous, scared, didn't know what to do integrating into the building. So I'm like, oh my gosh, if a teacher feels this way, then what must the freshman feel like, you know? So I sat with the assistant principal and we developed this Ignition program to help kind of just smooth that transition over. And what I did notice is students that had older brothers or sisters, they transitioned better because maybe they learned a lot from them, they had some inside knowledge. So what I'm trying to do is give each freshman kind of an older brother or sister to kind of level that playing field for them.
Great, that's excellent. So kind of going off of what you were just mentioning, how do you think Ignition helps the freshmen transition into high school and beyond?
I think it just gives them a connection to someone their own age. I mean, adult connections are very important, but it gives them a connection to someone their own age. We break the groups up randomly, so it's also connecting them with other students that maybe they never had a chance to interact with before. And it's a very safe, kind of nurturing environment where they could just kind of be themselves and joke around. And then they get to meet some upperclassmen who are doing great things that I'm hoping, you know, the things they're doing, the role models that they are, kind of maybe rub off on the freshmen. They might say, hey, look at that guy or girl, look what they're doing. You know, maybe I could achieve that as well, you know?
Great. So it sounds like it's a good, you know, mentoring program.
Yeah, that's the goal, is really to mentor the freshmen through. The first year is so important. If you get a great start in high school, it really helps, you know, for the next couple of years set the tone. If you get yourself in a little bit of a hole freshman year, you're just working to dig yourself out, which is very doable, but if you don't have to do that, you know, why would you want to do that, you know?
Right, that's a great point. So could you give an example of Ignition activities, and how do you think Ignition might look different this year due to, you know, everything going on? Any changes, anything like that?
That's a great question. I mean, so some examples in the past we did, last year we actually did this thing, like kind of a version of like speed dating where we lined everybody up, they faced each other, they had like 2 minutes to like answer some questions and they moved to the next person. So everyone got to meet someone new for like 2-3 minutes, learn about them. So when they left, they had met everyone in their class and they had learned some good facts about them. So we try to do different activities like that, just like different ways to make connections. We do this Stranded on the Moon activity where you get like certain supplies and they have to learn how to work together and negotiate with each other in groups to come up with their list. So, you know, just interactive activities. So how will that look different? I mean, it's hard to do interactive activities so we really have to reimagine Ignition. So we just got approval to start running Ignition the other day. The board approved, our club. So I have to really sit down with some of the officers and kind of think about how we can do this differently this year. We used to pull kids from gym classes, but those groups are very large, you know, so I don't know how that's going to look. So, you know, we have some brainstorming to do about how to make this work this year. But we're up for the challenge, and I'm sure we'll come up with something great, you know?
Great, yeah. I love the positive spirit.
You got to have it, Kramer.
Absolutely, yeah. Okay, So I've heard you like mountain bikes.
Ah,
Yeah. So,
So-
could you talk to us a little bit about
I would love to talk about
Yeah.
that. So it's my new passion. As you may or may not know, I was a big ice hockey player for a while. So when COVID struck, all the ice hockey was canceled. So I was looking for a new hobby, something to do. I came across mountain biking. I was able to get a bike before like they were all sold out all over the country. And I started riding, started recruiting some other teachers and other friends to go with me, like my good friend, Mr. Scheffler.
I heard about that, yeah.
Yep, and we would go every morning, 6 a.m. or so, get our ride in, and we just continued it all through the summer, and we just love it. Now we try to get out as much as we can, at least every Saturday morning or Sunday. Sometimes after work, we'll try to squeeze a ride in if we can, but it's a great sport. It's it's exciting. It's like exercise, but doesn't feel like exercise. It's kind of fun. You don't even feel like you're exercising, but you're getting a great workout at the end of it. So it's exciting. I got a lot of cuts and bruises on my legs, a lot of scars to prove it, but it was worth it. It was a great experience. I hope to keep it rolling.
That's great.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, I enjoy hearing about your hobby with mountain biking.
Thank you.
And thank you very much for this great information about Ignition today. It's been very helpful. And Hapag, thank you as always for joining us through the camera, and we will see you soon. Have a bedazzling weekend. Peace.